Hello, so let's do addition and subtraction of fractions. In this first application problem I want to do, it says a recipe calls for the following spices: 1/8 teaspoon of turmeric, 3/8 teaspoon of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. With what is the total quantity of these three spices? So what we're going to do is we're just going to add them together because it asks us what's the total quantity, right? So basically we're taking the sum of them all. So let me get my ink pen working again. Here we go. 1/8 plus 3/8 plus 1/4. That's pretty easy, right? That worked out great. Well, in order to add or subtract fractions, we have to have a least common denominator, meaning that it's the smallest number that all of them will go into. So if you'll notice, we are working with 8, 8, and 4 in the denominators. Well, 8 will go into 8 and 4 will go into 8. So this one worked out nice and pretty. The only fraction we need to change is this one here. That's the 1/4. So I'm going to take 2 times that 4, which gives me 8. And what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So now I got the same denominator. I can write it all over the same denominator. I'm doing an extra step. You might not want to do the extra step, and that's okay. So I'm going to clean it up. My numerator is 1 plus 3 plus 2 times 1 over 8. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 gives me 6/8. Of course, that's not in reduced simplest form, so let's reduce it. So 6 is 2 times 3, and 8 is 2 times 4. So we reduce by 2 because 2 goes into itself once. It leaves me with 3/4, and that is my total quantity of all three of these spices. Now let's do the next application problem. It says we have a 5/6 inch pipe is to be shortened to 1 inch, or excuse me, 1/7 inch. How much pipe must be removed? So we know we're talking about subtraction here, right? Because we got 5/6 minus that 1/7. In order to subtract these, we have to have the least common denominator. And I see that I have 6 and it's made of a 2 and 3. And then I have 7 in the denominator, and 7's prime. So what if I said that I'm going to take this one and multiply it by 6, 7 times 6. And then this one over here, let's multiply it by 7. And the reason why I chose to do this way is because 7's prime. And that's going to be the closest way we can come up with a number that both 7 and 6 will go into. So now I'm going to rewrite this. I got 7 times 5 minus 1 times 6 all over 7 times 6, which is 42. Now, 7 times 5 is 35 minus 6 all over 42. And then 35 minus 6 is 29 over 42. 29 is prime, so that's not going to reduce. That is my final answer. So excuse me, my apologies, guys. I have how much pipe was removed, and it was 29/42. Okay. I do want to do another application problem, so I'm going to have to write this one out. So bear with me with my writing. Let me give myself some more, paper room. Well, actually, let me erase this. So you may want to pause it and get everything written down. Okay, so this next application problem I want to work out with you says that we have a pendant has a 3/8 inch by 1/3 inch rectangle shape, rectangular shape. Okay, so it says with a 2/7 inch silver border. Okay, so the question is, what are the dimensions of this pendant, including the silver border? We're going to use the large value of for the length, and we're going to use the smaller value for the width. Okay, so let's do that. Let's separate it. I'm going to say the length, and the length is going to be 3/8 plus that 2/7. Okay, well, in order to add these together, we have to have a common denominator, right? So if I add them together in just 1 second, let me see, make sure I didn't. I did. I left. I really should have topped it up. My apologies, guys. We got 3/8, we got 1/3, and we got 2/7 here. And so we have the dimensions of 3/8 by 1/3 inch rectangular shape, and then we have the silver border of 2/7. So whenever I want to find the length here, and I left my G out of the spelling. Okay, when we find the length here, I'm going to take the 3/8, but we also have this silver border of 2/7. So I'm going to add those two together. Okay. So now I have in the denominator 8 and 7s and 7's prime. So what if I said, let's multiply this first fraction by 7/7. That means 7 times 8. Then that means the next two fractions, I'm going to multiply them by 8 because I know that 8 times 7 is going to give me my least common multiple. So in the denominator, whenever I multiply the 7 times 8, I get 56. In my numerator, I get 7 times 3 plus 8 times 2 plus 2 times 8. Let's clean this up. So now I have 21 plus 16 plus 16, all over 56. And so now let's just go ahead and sum it all up. 21 plus 16 plus 16, all over that 56, is going to give me 53/56. So that's going to be my length, right? Now let's talk about my width. My width is going to be the 1/3 here, because it told us that 1/3 plus we're going to take the silver border again. All right. So now let's add it all up. Well, I got 3 and 7's in the denominator, so I'm going to choose to multiply this 1/3 by 7/7, and then the 2/7 by the 3/3. So we can get the least common multiple. So now I have 7 times 1 plus 3 times 2 plus 3 times 2, all over 21. So now we have 7 plus 6 plus 6, all over 21. And that gives me 19 21s. And that is my answer.